The Route 12 starts in Oxford Circus and ends at Dulwich Library. The distance is 7.71 miles. The route goes through Trafalgar Square, Westminster, Elephant and Castle, and Peckham. The route is operated by London Central, which is a part of Go Ahead Group. The route's depot is in Camberwell and introduced the Citaro bendy buses in 2004. The Citaro bendy buses were removed from Route 12 in November 2011, only seeing 7 years of service. The Route 18 starts in Sudbury town and ends at Euston. It is a distance of 9.7 miles. The route goes through Wembley, Stonebridge and Paddington. The route was operated by First Group, but became part of Metro Line in 2013. The route's depot is in Willesden Junction, who started operating Citaro bendy buses in November 2003. The Citaro bendy buses were removed from service in November 2010, just 7 years after they were introduced on the Route 18. The Route 25 starts in Ilford and ends at Oxford Circus. It is a distance of 10 miles. The route goes through Stratford, Aldgate and Holborn. The route was operated by East London, then Stagecoach, but the route became part of First in 2011 and then Tower Transit in 2013. The route's original depot was West Ham and now it's Lee Interchange. The Route 25 introduced the Citaro buses in 2004. The Mercedes Citaros were withdrawn in June 2011 on the Route 25, only just 7 years of service. The Route 29 starts in Wood Green and ends in Trafalgar Square. It's a distance of 7 miles. The route goes through Finsbury Park, Holloway and Camden. The route is operated by Arriva London. The route's depot is Wood Green Bus Garage. The route operated Citaros from January 2006. In November 2011, Arriva withdrew the bendy bus on the Route 29, with only just been in service for 5 years. The Route 38 starts in Clapton Pond and ends at Victoria Bus Station. The distance is 7 miles. The route goes through Essex Road, Angel, Holborn and Piccadilly. The route is operated by Arriva London. The route's depot is in Clapton Pond. The Citaro bendy buses were introduced in October 2005 on the route. Arriva withdrew the Citara bendy bus in November 2009 on the route 38, only in service for 4 years. The Route 73 started originally in Seven Sisters, but now Stoke Newington, and used to end at Victoria Station, but now terminates at Oxford Circus. It is a distance at 8.6 miles. The route goes through Newington Green, Angel and King's Cross. The route is operated by Arriva London, whose depot is in Stamford Hill. The Citara bendy bus was introduced on the route in September 2004. Arriva London withdrew the Citara bendy bus in September 2011, only just seeing 7 years of service. The Route 149 starts at Edmonton Green and terminates at London Bridge Station. It's a distance of 9 miles. The route goes through Tottenham, Stamford Hill, Stoke Newington, Dalston and Shoreditch. The route is operated by Arriva London. The route's depot is in Tottenham. The Citara bendy bus was introduced in April 2004 to the Route 149. The Citara bendy buses were withdrawn on the 149 in October 2010, only being in service for 6 years. The Route 207 starts at Hayes Bypass and terminates at Shepherd's Bush. It is a distance of 8.2 miles. The route goes through Southall, Ealing and Acton. The route was operated by First Group but is now owned by Metroline. The route's depot is in Greenford. The Citara bendy bus was introduced in April 2005. The Citara bendy bus was removed from service in December 2011, just 6 years in service. This was also known as the last bus route to have a bendy bus on it. The Route 436 starts at the Lewisham Centre. It used to terminate at Paddington Station but now terminates at Battersea Park. It is a distance of 8.7 miles. The route goes through Peckham, Elephant and Castle and Waterloo. The route was operated by London Central. The route's depot is in New Cross. The Citara bendy buses were introduced in March 2003. London Central removed the Citara bendy buses in November 2011, just 8 years after they started service. The 453 starts in Deptford Bridge and ends at Marylebone Station. The distance is 8.9 miles. It goes through New Cross, Elephant and Castle, Westminster and Oxford Circus. The route is operated by London General but was originally Stagecoach. The route's depot is in New Cross but formerly Plumstead when the route was operated by Stagecoach. The Citara bus was introduced in March 2003 on the route. The Citara was removed in September 2011 on the route, just 8 years after it entered service. The route 507 starts at Waterloo and ends at Victoria Bus Station. The distance is 2.6 miles. The route goes through St Thomas's Hospital, Lambeth Bridge and Horse Ferry Road. The route is operated by Red Arrow London General. The route's depot is at Waterloo and Camberwell. The Citaro bendy bus was introduced in June 2002 along the route. In July 2009, the Citaro bendy buses were removed from service on the 507, only seeing 7 years of service. The route 521 starts in Waterloo and ends at London Bridge Station. It is a distance of 3.7 miles. The route goes through Strand, Holborn and St Paul's. The route is operated by Red Arrow London General. The route's depots are in Waterloo and Camberwell. The Citaro was introduced on the route in June 2002. In September 2009, the Citaros were removed on the route 521, only seeing 7 years of service. Many later on in the years, the bendy buses were seen as a bad idea, with fires starting up in the engines to when a man was dragged a mile to Manor Park from Ilford on the Route 25. All bendy buses were removed by December 2011.
Say goodbye to the bendy bus. They first started snaking through the capital 10 years ago, but the last of them will run its final route, the 207, in the early hours of tomorrow morning. They've certainly had a checkered history, but as we look back at the bendy years, we ask, were they all bad? Emma Walden has our report.
For a decade, bendy buses have divided opinion, but today is the last chance for Londoners to climb on board and decide for themselves whether they love them or loathe them.
I remember when it first came out, me and my nephews, we used to wait for hours and let all the other buses go past just to get the bendy bus. Because it's fun. You know, you stand in the middle when it goes round corners and the whole thing moves. It's like a fairground.
Myself, I'm a cyclist. You try overtaking one of these things when it's looking to pull out. They're dangerous to cyclists, they're dangerous to motorists.
You'll be glad to see the back of them.
I'll be glad to see the back of them. They should have never been introduced.
They're quick. There's a lot of space, you know, and you can see everything what's going on. There's no upper deck, you know.
You obviously like standing right next to the beds as well.
I think this is quite comfy. It's like a sofa, you know. It works for me anyway.
But at times it has been a rather less comfortable ride for the bendy bus. A number of fires ignited public concern over their safety. Many also blamed the articulated giants for clogging the capital's streets, a problem which seems to have continued now some of the buses are being used in Malta. And with people able to get on the bendy buses at 3 separate doors, came the chance for too many to avoid paying their fare.
The rate of fare evasion is much higher on bendies, many times higher than it is on the rest of the bus network. So by doing this, we're going to be saving £7 million every year.
There is a cost involved with removing the bendy buses though too.
Yeah, well the £7 million is actually net of the cost of removing them. So what that means is that the cost of removing them is quite low, and then the savings are just above £7 million, and therefore on balance we're saving £7 million a year going forward. So it's a good investment that's worth making. It's saving Londoners money.
With double-decker buses taking over the 207 route from 5 past midnight tonight, the last of the capital's 350 bendy buses will be removed from the city's streets. They'll be replaced by 500 brand new single and double-decker vehicles. Meanwhile, reaching its final stop at the depot this afternoon, a team were ready and waiting to recycle the Oyster card readers, strip out the information signs and decommission this, one of the last bendy buses Londoners will see in use. Emma Walden, London Tonight, Willesden Junction.
After London, most of the bendy buses were sent to Malta to operate. Unfortunately, they were decommissioned not very long after.